Well struck.
Brilliantly caught, throwing himself. Gone.
Takes it beautifully.
What a magnificent effort.
And he's gone. And that's it, and it's been caught by Taylor. How appropriate is that? Welcome to PSN's presentation of the fabulous fourth cricket test in Kingston, Jamaica. It really was a defining moment in the annals of Australian cricket. David, a bit of a roller coaster of emotion. They lost the third test in under 3 days in Trinidad, but suddenly at Kingston, Jamaica, it's within reach, a great victory within 4 days.
Yes, it could be, because Australia goes to that series 1-all and a chance to take home the Frank Worrell Trophy for the first time since 1975-76 here in Australia, and the first time since 1973 in the West Indies. Well, as I said, the series is locked at 1-all after 3 tests for the fourth and final deciding test match. Let's have a look back and see why the series is at 1-all.
28 years after his death, the spirit of Frank Worrell lives in the hearts of the international cricket community and in the heads of the elite cricketers of the West Indies and Australia as they continue their struggle for supremacy in a fascinating series. To their unbridled delight, the Australians won a famous victory in Barbados, the West Indies being twice bowled out for less than 200 for the first time in the Caribbean. Then came the cursed, frustrating unseasonal rains in arid Antigua. The dark clouds finally cleared for the West Indies in Trinidad when a focused Richie Richardson was demonstrably in charge and Curtly Ambrose regained fitness, form and favour. Then the caravan moved on to Jamaica.
We would have preferred at this stage to have been, I would say 2-0 up or something like that, but as it is, it's 1-all and it's down to the wire, and it's do or die in this test match, and we're going to make sure we do.
They're always very mentally tough. They keep you playing. They've got good fast bowlers who keep you on your toes all side all the time. You've got to be mentally tough and mentally aggressive, and hopefully we can do that over the next 5 days.
While most batsmen battled to find form, Brian Lara, the Prince of Trinidad, showed flashes of his genius against Shane Warne, who for once functioned rather than flourished. And all attention was focused on Glenn McGrath, a young man seeking to establish his identity in the international arena, and Curtly Ambrose battling to regain touch and credibility. And despite the drama of the disputed Lara catch at Barbados, Australia's hopes lie principally with Stephen Waugh, their only batsman in true form. That went, that really went. And Healy, of course, who's got experience here from 1991, one of only 5 players who have, at least a test match level, taking off and lunging. And he's gone! Brilliantly caught by Blewett. Brilliantly caught, throwing himself. A sensational start for the Australians. And Blewett in tight at silly point. Just hurling himself and taking a magnificent catch, and rifle has struck. Williams has gone.
You just see on the replay here, poor rifle banging the ball into the surface, bounces quite a bit, catches the glove, and there's Greg Blewett diving away to his left. It's a great catch and a great start for Australia.
All just in front. A little bit shorter. Got inside that, and that'll go for 4. You always get 1 or 2 4 balls from Ben and Julian, it would seem. 1 for 6. And the extensive excitement and the new stand, the disco stand, being promoted as Mound Mania. Mound Mania is the mood on the mound stand here. Played that with fair control.
to the replay here. Just nice soft hands, just gliding it down through the vacant third man area, and the way this outfield is, that's always going to be 4 runs.
That's a glorious shot back, placing it perfectly. This is where Julian so often does stray.
He's just so quick on his feet, just anything that's just slightly off line or length, he's onto like a shot, and for a small bloke, he hits the ball unbelievably firm. And that just races away 4 runs. Just great footwork and just gives it everything.
There he is at 254. Highest scoring batsman in the series. Steve Waugh is not far behind him in the 220s. But they're the only two who have topped 200 in a series which has been dominated by the bowlers. There's the famous Lara hip clip. How well is he seeing them, this young man, to play that to the second ball from McGrath. Characteristic of him in full flight, the hip clip.
Well, I only dream about playing this shot. Just awesome stuff. He's sort of, it's a trademark shot of his now. This is a great track, and anything that's going to be slightly short, Brian Lara is going to jump on.
Sliced away off the edge. Didn't go where he intended, but 4 runs all the same. 1 for 34. So in case you wondered where that ball had gone, there's the answer. Typical Richie Richardson square slash, but there was the outside edge, not off the middle.
Typical West Indies shot there, particularly from Richie. Just starting to get the groove in the second innings.
Well, that asked for it. Magnificently struck. It was short, it was wide, it was 4.
Well, Tony, that's a shot. He's played some shots today that it's worth travelling 30 hours in a plane to see. He's very good hitting it through mid-wicket, but what about that? He's just saw it short, and he said, I'll have some of that. And he's just smashed it through cover point. These shots are just you dream about, and creates a chance for you to make a really big innings.
Beautiful wrist work and beautiful timing. 4 runs.
Well, you just get on this guy's legs, and he's just going to nail you. He's got so much timing. He just didn't try to hit it too hard, get it past Booney, and it's just gone for 4. So that's my point, is whether you should just be too attacking here and just try and dry Brian's 4 shots up.
Magnificent stroke. No effort whatever. Just forward and hitting through the line. Another 4 to Lara.
Magnificent shot, Tony. If any kids want to look at how to play an off drive off a leg spinner, have a look at that. You can tell where the ball was going to where his foot was pointing towards. And that is just a magnificent shot.
Dabs it for the 50, and the crowd go nuts. A wonderful innings so far from Brian Lara. A cameo 50, and you wouldn't see too many better half-centuries, Mikey, with a man coming in at the second delivery of the game.
Very composed 50 there by Brian Lara. Didn't look out of sorts at any stage.
And he's just stood there and whacked that through the fence for 4. And a man who would love to have been able to play that shot, Alan Border.
Yes, the conditions very much in favour of batting at the moment, and Brian Lara is looking very ominous. Just beautiful shot on the rise. That is a class shot from a class player.
Just out of reach of Julian, the frustration. McGrath dug that in, got inside it but didn't get it. He got it high on the bat. The single, it gives him his 300th run for the series.
Good effort from all concerned there. Bowler digging the ball in. False stroke from Brian Lara, and unfortunately Brendan Julian couldn't get back. Very athletic man, but things are running Brian Lara's way this morning.
It just goes to show he didn't get that as he liked. Slater couldn't make the interception. The speed of the outfield, it's 4 more.
Just dragged down slightly. Brian Lara probably didn't hit that perfectly well, but just shows you how quick this outfield is and how good the wicket is playing.
Leaning forward and great embrace. And he's gone. He has walked. What an astonishing moment. Liebenberg didn't make any reaction. Certainly Warren and Healy were sure. And Lara has walked.
One of the more unanimated type dismissals. You see the ball pitching, just catching the inside edge of the bat, flying up. Good reactions from Ian Healy, and Brian Lara walks. Would have been interesting to see what Carl Liebenberg's reaction would have been.
Oh, that is a glorious shot from Adams. Advancing to Warren. Placing it beautifully. No chance for Slater.
Here we see Jimmy just advancing down the track, getting to the pitch of the ball and hitting that very firmly through the mid-off region.
There's a glorious shot from Adams. Oh, and doesn't his fans just love it?
Class shot by Jimmy Adams. It's not one of his great strengths to hit it past the bowler. He likes to hit it through the covers normally, but here he is. He just nice and straight and hit through it. On this type of wicket, it's just a beauty. He knows how good it is. It's his turf here.
Gone. Straight to Slater. Short. Just miscued. He'll be very disappointed with that, will Jimmy Adams. The Australians delighted. Each time the West Indies threatened to just to take it away, they've got the capacity to just strike.
Yes, a soft dismissal here for Jimmy. Drops one in and just gets it high on the bat and a little bit late, and Slater makes up that little error made in slips, and that is the type of dismissal they wanted. The West Indies now are 3 for 131.
Lovely shot from Hooper, and no better way to fix your timing than a square cut hit perfectly between the gully and the point fieldsman for 4.
Very good shot by Carl Hooper. He tried that same shot earlier on in this very same over, but didn't quite time it. On this occasion, he hit it perfectly.
stroke. And the boundary straight down the ground is short enough that it can reach it for a boundary. So 4 runs to Richardson. That brings up his half century.
Crowd appreciating a great captain's knock from Richie Richardson. He's battled hard for his runs, playing a very solid innings here for his team.
Gone full Blewett. That really came like a shot from a gun. Just stops inside the boundary. They'll come back for 3. Typical Richie Richardson stroke.
When Richie's in form, this is the shot that gets him a great number of runs, and when you give him any width, he just gives it the kitchen sink, and Greg Blewett knows all about that there. That was coming quite rapid.
And that's the second one that's gone to Blewett. Perhaps not the ideal bounce for him, and it was struck hard.
Yes, to be a bit disappointed with this effort. The last one he could be excused for, and for this particular shot here, hit very firmly through the point region, but just beaten by, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, just a little bit of a bad bounce there.
Yes, Mike, it's a very good move for Mark Taylor, I believe, to put Mr. Mark Waugh on, commonly known as Junior, because he was the last twin born. All called Pretty Boy, and you can tell with a face like that.
It's gone a long way. It's over the top. That's 6. He's not afraid to drop it short, which is not afraid to get inside it either. Magnificent shot.
What a play there by Richie. Used the right arm, uppercut, hit it right in the screws. Must have travelled at least, 75 yards. As I said, he hit one out of the ground last time. That's great camera work there.
Pick that up, as only Hooper can. Hooper, of course, has become Warne's nemesis. He picks it up so quickly.
Well, what a shot. He's been watching our spin vision camera. And if you can just watch the back of the hand, it comes out at the back of the hand, and watch the seam going the other way. And a little bit of frustration, though, creeping in. But it's a good chance for Brendan Julian to pick a wicket up here. And I just think he's just starting to hit his straps again, Michael.
You're right. He has hit his straps. Caught by Waugh, driving away. You picked that perfectly, Dean. Driving away from his body. A good bowling change by Taylor. Hooper again fails when he seemed to be set. Playing away from his body. Mark Waugh, perhaps the finest catches in the world, the finest hands in the world, and he's taken it effortlessly.
Well, the left-hander's angle here, and he's just gone for a big wide shot, and he has got great hands, this guy, I tell you. Fantastic catch. And again, Carl Hooper gets out softly. 4 wickets for 188.
It's a handsome start for Arthurton. Over pitching. Arthurton with his reach. It's a lovely shot.
Well, this guy feeds off adrenaline. Puts to the pitch the ball. Look away, his toes pointing towards where he wants to hit it, and the elbow through. You can tell where guys want to hit it from where their foot is, their front foot. And it's just a magnificent shot. What a great start for him here.
And there is a great drive. Using his feet. He hasn't hit it as sweetly as we'd like for much of the day, but he'd be delighted with that. And so are the crowd.
This was a very good shot here by Richie Richardson. For the first occasion in quite some time, we have seen Shane Warne attacking Richie Richardson on that line outside the off stump, and Richie Richardson using his feet beautifully there.
High, long, handsome, into the newsstand. As we've seen Arthurton launch into Warne on a couple of occasions during this series. That's a very big blow, high over long off, into the stand that has become the Valentine stand.
And he hit it on the offside, inside out. Very good shot.
He's gone outside the off stump, edged around the wicket. Arthurton goes to McGrath. The West Indies lose their 5th wicket for 220, and once again a batsman who is seemingly set has been dismissed.
Well, he's a little bit anxious to try to get on the front foot here. McGrath realised that on the front foot, not quite to the pitch of the ball, and a really good catch to Ian Healy diving in front of him to his left. And that's a great wicket for Glenn McGrath. And West Indies are in a little bit of trouble at 5 for 220.
It's classic Richie Richardson. That'll take him to 99.
And McGrath just straying a bit there. I've seen Richie Richardson play this shot so many times before. One to go.
That's it. Big shout, and that's out. Yes, it is. Attempting to whack the ball around behind square leg across the line. And again, an undisciplined last ball shot.
Well, we have been talking about the tailenders trying to stay with the batsman. This is not the shot that was required at this stage. The ball pitched straight, went straight, and would have hit straight on mid-stump. That's out, as umpire Buckner has signalled. It's 7 for 250 the West Indies. Richie Richardson has faced only 16 balls since he got to that landmark, that century. This is his 17th.
Big shout, that's out. So the new ball for Australia has taken 2 wickets already, and it's only 5 deliveries old. And the end of a wonderful innings from the West Indian captain, stuck on 100 and just couldn't get off it.
Well, as I was saying, he wasn't on strike too often, and then that certainly was plumb again. Pitching just outside off stump. Richie Richards not coming a long way forward. End of an excellent innings for his team. 8 for 251 the West Indies.
It's in the air. Will David Boone get to it? He will, and he won't drop that. So Steve Waugh has done it again. The new ball, 3 wickets in 3 overs.
Courtney Walsh was completely deceived by that delivery from Steve Waugh. He had seen Steve Waugh bowl quite a few quick short balls to Curtly Ambrose and went on his back foot. Slow delivery, and he just scooped it up in the air, caught on the onside by David Boone. It's 9 down for 254.
Well, he certainly laid that onto that one. Hammered back past the bowler. That would have to be one of the best of the day. Any of the batsmen who preceded him would have been happy with that one. And for a number 11, well, that was one for the book.
Attempted Yorker from Glenn McGrath, and Kenny Benjamin gets a good piece of that one. Excellent straight drive. 4 more runs.
That's the end of the innings. Good catch by Healy, high to his right, and it's all over. A rifle picks up the last wicket. The West Indies are all out for 265, with Benjamin out, caught by Healy, off a rifle for 5, leaving Ambrose 6, and no wonder they're smiling. It's been a good day for the Australians.
Once again, the low-scoring series continued with just Richie Richardson scoring a century, the first century of the series. Brian Lara, another cameo performance for 65, but after that, it wasn't too much joy for the West Indies. Just 265, and again, they failed to bat 90 overs, which is a full day's play. For Australia, the wickets are shared as they had been all series. Rifle and Julian with a new ball. McGrath, surprisingly, again, not taking the new ball, but Warne and Moore did a bit of damage in the middle with 2 wickets apiece. So Australia has to chase 265, and they'd like to get a big lead. So let's see how Australia did in that chase of 265.
Curtly Ambrose going to start the West Indies bowling. Australian captain Mark Taylor will take strike as we get ready for the first ball of day 2. Australia, with a West Indies score of 265 already on the board, now going after it. Big crowd in already, and here's the first ball of the day. Not much change in the pitch, of course. There's a bit of wear on it from the bowler's foot marks there. Not in any danger area. A few cracks. Looks as if he's batting on a leg stump guard there. Well hit. Beautifully struck. Very confident in position very early, and 4 runs from the time it left the bat. In the air, lobbed just over the bowler's head. Well, they haven't got a man in that position, but the hook shot was on again. Lucky to get away with it.
I think we see here he's hit this right on the cue of the bat. Very, very fortunate to get away with that.
Beautifully taken. What a magnificent catch by Jimmy Adams. Remarkable. Well, we spoke a while ago about the quality of the catching in this series, and there has been none better than that. Mark Taylor can feel aggrieved.
This is an absolute freak catch. Mark Taylor has absolutely hammered that. That is unbelievable.
His 101st test now, of course. That's what he's done for the series so far. Below average series for him, but it's been a below average series for everyone. Half century coming in the test match in Antigua. 100th test match in Port of Spain. And there's the overall average. He's declared man of the match.
Shot by David Boone, and no point in running for that if you're a fieldsman. That is a lovely, lovely on drive.
David Boone is very, very good at those on drives. Straight down the pitch on the onside of the wicket. And you could see that ball wasn't on the leg side at all, but was heading towards the leg stump, and he just played it A nice straight bat, very comfortably down to long on. We have now 2 slips in place. There they are, first and second slip, Lara and Hooper. Pretty big gap to that man at gully. And the mid-on is just out of your picture on the right. There he is, plugging that gap. Richie Richardson.
It's in the air, wide of Atherton. Great piece of fielding because both Australian batsmen started to go. And the left hand was out.
That wasn't really a ball to be driven. That ball was nowhere near driving length.
And there it is. A single to David Boone takes him second on the list.
Well, they are good statisticians. They are aware of David Boone's statistics and the fact that he's now second in the list of Australian batsmen.
It's in the air, there's a man down there. In fact, a misfield and gone for 4. David Boone is the man the West Indies have targeted all summer as perhaps Australia's most pivotal player following the retirement of Alan Border. First series that Australia has contested against the West Indies since 1978, with Captain Grumpy not playing. So David Boone is the man that, in the minds of the West Indies at least, needs to be dismissed. He's had a go, and I think he's achieved just that. He has. So Boone's not too pleased. And as the umpire calls strengths, the West Indies celebrate.
Well, David Boone isn't too happy at all. It's obvious he wasn't too happy when he saw the finger go up. I'm not too sure if he was disappointed with the shot that he played or with the fact that he has been given out. We'll have to take a very close look at this to see exactly what happened. It was a very uncharacteristic shot from David Boone at any rate. You hardly see David Boone hooking. Let's have a close look at this. Short ball from Curly Ambrose. Let's have a look. Well, if that hit anything, it seems as if it hit the helmet. That's probably why David Boone was a bit disappointed. It's 2 for 50.
It's going to be a great test of Mark Waugh's character and strength now to resist Curtly Ambrose. And that was predictable, very predictable. Mark Waugh played that well, but he is going to be in for a very, very torrid time.
Mr. Ambrose just saying good morning, Mark.
That's a glorious shot. That's characteristic of Mark Waugh in full flight. Australians will be encouraged by that.
Fantastic shot. That's one of his strengths. He has made a 200 against the West Indies, playing for New South Wales. Just rocks on the back foot. It just pumps it through backward point. And as you said, Mike, I'm quite amazed that Dunraj isn't in the gully. He's had a point, but maybe I think he had a sore thumb. Chandra Paul, I'm sorry.
That's 4.
It's all happening here. Michael Slater is not frightened to take these guys on. I admire the guy's courage. They try to really shell this one. They've got it high on the bat and straight over the wicketkeeper's head. It's probably the best place to hit these guys. Straight off the helmet. Well, there you go.
Just in front of Adams, lunging again. Magnificent reactions again, but he had to go forward and to his left. but he's in such touch at the moment, one senses he can do it.
Well, he's tried to work that one around the leg side, and just to his credit, he made something out of nothing. He just bounced in front of him.
In the air, Lara takes it beautifully.
Well, it was always going to happen the way Michael Slater was playing this morning. Chancing his arm once again. Short ball. Hit top edge-ish. Brian Lara moving fantastically to his right. Takes a superb catch, which is starting to become regulation for this series. The end of Michael Slater for 27, Australia 3 for 73. There's no prize for guessing the sort of welcome Stephen Waugh is going to get at the crease. A lot of short pitch stuff with those blokes in close waiting for the pop chance.
That typifies the West Indies' aggression this morning. They're really in this match. It's gone very fine and gone for 4.
And the pressure will be on straight away for Mark Waugh. He's got the leg gully, the short leg in. He's got the short cover or distance silly mid off. So the pressure is on Mark Waugh. Sways inside it, so it's an incredibly intense time for the Australian scene, and if ever Australia has need the brothers Waugh to perform, this is the moment. Encouraging sign for the Australians. Curtly, unbelievably sloppy again in the field. That's a lovely shot. That's the shot of the one Australian batsman who's been consistently in touch.
Well, I said before, don't give Steve Waugh any room outside off stump, because that's what happens to you.
Oh, glorious shot, the square drive. Majesty in that, majesty.
Well, Mark says, well, Steve, if you can play that shot, I can too. Just gave the Waugh brothers a bit of room. Didn't try to hit it too hard. The timing and the poise and a very good effort in the field there, but again, it's gone for 4. And this is one of the problems that Benjamin has. He bowls a couple of good ones, but at the same time, he just doesn't get his line right. And good players like these two fellas will jump on it.
Well, no third man again, and he's letting the pace of the ball do the work. And it would have been a boundary for any other man chasing it, but that man there. And Arthur will receive the applause of the crowd, and so will Mark Waugh for his half-century. A very good half-century to Mark Waugh. The Australian fans there pretty pleased. And Mark Waugh about a third of the way as to where he wants to be.
Oh, he dropped it! He's put it down. Well, poor Courtney Brown will not be feeling too happy about that. That was the breakthrough, and the new West Indies keeper has dropped what really should have been a regulation chance. Got both clubs to it.
So Stephen Waugh pushing outside that off stump, and that ball fairly flew through to the keeper, but one that you would expect him to hang on to. So just catching a good outside edge.
And that it just rubs salt in the wounds.
I suppose something had to give. It's a great shot through the covered point area. Something had to give with this fielding.
For once he's alert, and for once he's hit the Trinity. Quick single taken. Curley got onto it low. The agility of a guy. Obviously he's made it pretty easily in, but the stumps just jumped out everywhere. It's a glorious drive from Waugh, from Stephen. Well fielded, but there's his 50. His fourth half-century for the series. Acknowledges the crowd. The Australians dancing there. Greg Blewett would be as relieved, I think, as anything that he's had that little extra time to compose himself. And this has been a wonderful performance by Steve Waugh. Had only played 2 test matches in the Caribbean before this series, despite playing more than 70 times for his country. And he really has proved himself. Beautiful work. They're in trouble here. Went to the wrong end, did Chanderpaul, but his reactions were just sensational. And again, the 2 Waughs in trouble, running, but that is magnificent work by Chanderpaul. 3 for 203. This is the highest partnership in the series, beating the 124 by Brian Lara and Carl Hooper in Bridgetown. It's a great distinction for the Waugh brothers. It's the toughest challenge in the West Indies is to play in Sabina Park. They've met the challenge admirably. And this time it's beyond Chanderpaul. He made a desperate dive, but not even his young eyes and young legs could reach that. 3 for 208.
That's well hit. Tremendous blow. Way over mid-wicket, got under it. From the time that left the bat and you heard the sound, you know where it was going to go.
What a magnificent shot. Hit it over Cowie corner, deep mid-wicket, on one knee. And really gave it some. Didn't try to overhit it.
But he will not be on 99 any longer. His 8th test century for Mark Waugh. Applause from the Australian players and from the spectators around the ground. It's been a fine and very important innings, chanceless by Mark Waugh. And he and his brother Steve have pulled Australia out of some difficulty when there was 72 for 3 before the break. And here are a couple of Australians trying to get her onto the ground to congratulate him, and quite rightly sent back by the constabulary.
That's what he's trying to say. He's got another stick on the thigh man, stick man. He's played marvellously well. He said he wanted to put one on today, and it's a fabulous effort for him.
Jamaica is the biggest of the islands which comprise the West Indies cricket team. It's Montego Bay on the north coast, very famous tourist resort. Kingston, where Sabina Park is located, is on the south coast. And we got there pretty quickly. So here is Mark Waugh now on his even 100 to face Winston Benjamin. And in the commentary box, David Hooks and Alan Border.
Thanks, Tony, and a wonderful moment for that man there. And here's his thigh pad. And and the little stick man gets added every time he makes a century. That's on his thigh pad. The ones with double heads are the two double centuries. They're not Tasmanian stick men. They represent his double hundreds.
There they are, the men of the moment. Stephen Roger Waugh and Mark Edward Waugh, born 4 minutes apart. Now approaching their 30th birthday, having their finest hour in the Test team. This is only their second century stand. Umpires conferring with their light meters. Of course, Steve Buckner knows the ground very well. He's a Jamaican, he's on home territory. They've decided that proceedings can continue. Going to go for it. He's completed it. Lifts his bat to the dressing room. Mark Taylor stands, his captain. Probably his finest moment, his 8th Test match century, his 2nd against the West Indies, and his 1st in the West Indies. Raises his bat to the Australian supporters. And now he's going to speak with his brother, shake hands in a matter-of-fact manner. This is different to a 100 in the backyard at Mum's. There's the Australian flag, and this will mean so much to Stephen Waugh. He's been under a tremendous amount of pressure throughout this tour. And it's a wonderful achievement for him. He'd only played 2 Test matches previously in the West Indies, despite being Australia's 2nd most senior player. He's gone. Mark Waugh is out. Caught around the corner. And after one breathtaking moment for his brother, Mark Waugh, who's played the innings of his lifetime, is out of Hooper's bowling.
Another one of those deliveries that pitched in the rough. Got a bit of bounce, a bit of turn. Glove, pad, and Jimmy Adams again doing the job. It's 4 for 3 over 4 Australia.
There he goes, Mark Waugh, after a truly wonderful innings.
Bit of an ugly time for batsmen at this stage. You're starting to try and keep negative thoughts out of your head. Try and not worry about getting out. There's nothing worse than getting out in the last over of the day. I tell you, no matter how many runs you've made.
So the last ball of the 2nd day of this 4th final and decisive Cable and Wireless Test, and Australia end it with a lead of 56, with 6 wickets standing, a position which is almost entirely due to a 4th wicket partnership of 231 before the closest pair in international cricket, the Waugh twins.
Well, what a spectacular board for the Australians after a series dominated by the exploits of the bowlers. Suddenly, the batsmen fire. And it was Mark Waugh with a magnificent 126, splendidly supported by his older brother Stephen with an unbeaten 110, a partnership of 231, and only the 2nd time that they've been involved in a 100-plus partnership in Test match cricket. A wonderful achievement by them. And of course it was the West Indies took a real hammering with their Walsh with 2 for 65, again the best of the bowlers. Ambrose 1 for 48. Other than that, there was not much joy at all. So a wonderful day indeed for the Brothers' War, and David Hooks took the opportunity after to speak to Mark about his tough day at the office.
Yeah, I mean, to make 100 against the West Indies in Jamaica is probably a good a test as you can get, and it was a good wicket to bat on, but you know, you're always in the back of your mind, you know they've got 4 fast bowlers who can bang the ball in and can get you out any ball.
Mark, a lot of short pitch bowling today. The law as it stands, the one over the head, it doesn't seem to be very consistent. I'm not blaming the umpire, but just it must be a difficult one to umpire.
Yeah, I've got a sore back from bloody leaning back all day, I must admit. Yeah, it's that's the way they play their cricket. They're definitely hard to score against when they're flying through here, but they win games like that, so you can't expect them to bowl too many half volleys.
Now, what about batting with your brother? Only one, as I recall, one previous century stand in Test cricket with Steve. There's been plenty of speculation that perhaps he should bat at 6. He doesn't bat too well with you, but they put paid to that today.
Yeah, well, that puts that theory behind us. We've had a few good partnerships. We made 464 against the Whackers in Perth one year, and we're both fairly aggressive players, and if we can get going, then you know we can score runs quickly, and that's what we did today.
Well, a priceless opportunity for Stephen Waugh to build further on that splendid foundation laid by Mark Waugh. What a wonderful 100 that was indeed by Mark Waugh. And also young Greg Blewett, who perhaps was struggling to live up to his rave notices before the tour, had another chance to prove his mettle.
Well struck. Just eased it down the ground for the first boundary of the day. Well struck. That was a stroke full of authority. 4 from the time it left the bat. His second pull for 4 off Ambrose.
As I mentioned earlier, a feature of his batting, or his 2 Test centuries to date against England, was his pull shot and hooking. Another example of it there, just perfectly into line.
Well, welcome to Sabina Park, Kenny. 2 consecutive cover drives to Blewett, a 3 and a boundary.
Cutting safely. And there's his 50. Raises his bat, tips his cap. Some Australian supporters underneath the Southern Cross. It's in the air, but he's placed it well behind square, well out of reach of Benjamin. It's 4 for 396.
Very good running again by Steve Waugh, realising Courtney Walsh has not got a good arm, and it brings the Australians 400 up. The boys are Australian flags. A didgeridoo there.
Well taken, he's got him. Keith Atherton has broken the partnership with what really was a long hop. Greg Blewett got back and gave it everything, and a good catch by Winston Benjamin, two-handed to his right, breaks the stand.
This is amazing how often this happens. Part-time bowler, short of the length. Greg Blewett gave that the kitchen sink, and quite a good catch there at mid-wicket from Winston Benjamin, the only man in that area. Keith Atherton strikes a vital blow for the West Indies. Tremendous innings there from Greg Blewett. 69. You see the shot pulling it very firmly into mid-wicket, and that is a very good catch, because he's hit that very, very hard. And unfortunately for Greg Blewett, straight to the man at mid-wicket.
Got that very sweetly. He was really digging it out, one would have thought. And that's a glorious shot.
Steve Waugh just pushed at this. Just a little forward defensive. And he's just timed it really well. Firstly, that's a good sign. He's got a very good bat. And secondly, just the timing. It just shows if he plays straight enough, long enough, and these short boundaries, particularly straight, that you'll go for 4. He's probably actually enjoying getting on the front foot occasionally to the West Indies now.
There it is. 150 for Steve Waugh. Lifts his bat to the crowd again. Michael Slater leading the applause from the rooms. And there, the Frank Worrell Trophy. We are going home, says the optimists. But there may have been a banner like that was launched at Adelaide Oval in 92-3. Would have been taken down fairly promptly. Gone. Healy is out. Caught a slip by Lara, lunging forward. Winston Benjamin strikes to the relief of Richie Richardson.
You see, Ian Healy just went a little bit hard with his hands. The ball just shaped away a little bit, but Lara's just got beautifully soft hands, just falling over. And Healy's out for 6, and Australia 6 for 433.
Good aggression by Benjamin. Two aggressive cricketers confronting each other there.
Very dramatic picture that. St. Benjamin just making sure that Steve Waugh knows that he's still in the game.
Oh, Jimmy Adams has taken another curler. Well, you couldn't see any better than the first one when he caught Mark Taylor. And James Adams has done it again.
Well, he certainly makes them look easy at times, Jimmy Adams. This again was not a ball lobbed off the bat. It was flicked off the hips, and Jimmy Adams snares another. It's 7 for 449 Australia.
I don't think he's too happy with that blow.
Oh, we'll just have a look at this in the replay. Oh, I can't quite see what the problem is, unless he's sort of twisted something. Showing up to play that ball. Oh, that's hit him in the ribs, or... So a closer look here, it's lifting delivery, and oh, that's hit him on the elbow, yes, of the back arm. You see him wearing an arm guard on the front arm, but just missed the bat and bang.
He's driven that handsomely. Rifle. No slouch as a batsman, as you well know, Skipper.
He's also playing for East Lancashire and has done a fair bit of batting as well in the leagues, and just smacked that through the covers.
Yes. And still they're pounding it in. And still Steve Waugh gets off the ground and defends. That's his highest score in Test match cricket, 178.
Well, that finishes off the partnership in the most spectacular fashion you could want. So Kenny Benjamin picks up his first wicket. Australia lose their 523.
Well, the crowd are jubilant. They've been waiting for a long time for a wicket. And here you see Paul Rifle played outside this one. Now Australia have progressed to 8 for 522.
Caught easily, no finger to be broken here. Brian Lara taking a comfortable catch at first slip. 2 wickets now for Kenny Benjamin in the same over. And Steve Waugh remains on 195.
Now he's brought the field in, Richie Richardson.
And that could go for 4. There's a long chase around for Kenny Benjamin, who's picked it up rather late. They could run 4 here. Kenny Benjamin is not the fastest of fielders in the West Indies team, and they'll come for the 4th, which will bring him up his 200.
What a magnificent effort. One of the greatest moments in his career. We've got Australians running out from everywhere here. A standing ovation here at Kingston. Sometimes it's a bit of a shame here when the crowd comes out to congratulate him, but it's better off when the crowd's staying off the ground and off the wicket and giving Steve Waugh a bit of air and take the applause from the crowd.
And it takes so much away from the moment of the batsman when they're coming all over the place to congratulate him. Appeal, and he's given. So Steve Waugh is out. Stood there to wait for the decision, and Kenny Benjamin picks up the last 3 wickets, and Steve Waugh goes caught by Lara off that bouncer for an even 200. Australia 531, lead by 266, and the West Indies will have another 15 overs to bat to see out the day, perhaps 14. But what a fine innings by Steve Waugh. Last man out came in with Australia struggling at 73 for 3 and leaves with them all out for 531.
Well, Richie Richardson, definitive Richie Richardson. Well, that may well be the shot of the match. You don't hit them any better or any more sweetly than that.
We're talking about vintage Richardson. This is another indication of that, and he's hit that very hard and high, and bang, that's 6 runs, and he's going to be happy that he didn't hit that lower as David Byrne at bat pad.
Out, caught and bowled, and the breakthrough that Australia so desperately wanted this evening, which is not getting to the pitch of the ball, and the ultimate suffering, caught and bowled.
The Australians are absolutely ecstatic with that. Breakthrough they wanted. Ball just seemed to be drifting down the leg side, but Richie Richardson got to that a little bit early. Maybe it held up on the wicket a little bit. Hit it straight back to Paul Rifle, and he's got the safest hands in the business. Makes no mistake, and Richie Richardson departs for 14. Score 1 for 37.
Oh, he's hit straight in front of him, he's gone! What a sensational breakthrough for the Australians. Rifle, and he's being engulfed by his teammates. Played back, it stayed down. About Carl Liebenberg had no hesitation. Lara is out.
Well, that ball kept very low and hit him pretty much in line. The question is, did it pitch in line with the stumps? Well, that is debatable. It certainly would have hit the stumps, but I'm not too sure that it did pitch in line with the stumps. Anyway, it's 2 for 37, the West Indies.
Played on. He's played on. And Stuart Williams is out. Rifle being mobbed again by the ecstatic Australians.
Well, we have had a few 3-day test matches, but I don't think this one will be 3 days because there isn't enough time left. But the West Indies certainly aren't staying at the crease very long at all. Stuart Williams there playing a long way away from his pads, the ball hitting the inside half of the bat, back down onto the stumps. 3 wickets down for the West Indies, 46 on the run, on the scoreboard.
Just out of reach of Taylor. Went very, very quickly. Just wide of Taylor. It's 3 for 58.
Well, a match-winning day for Australia. Steve Waugh's 200. He was rewarded by being Australia's best batsman, and a double century certainly topped off his series. Greg Blewett, at last, some faith from the selectors, 69, and the tail wagged slightly. For the West Indies, not too much to write home about their bowling. 3 wickets apiece to Walsh and Benjamin. The most interesting aspect, 59 overs from the spinners. But after that innings, there was plenty more drama in the last hour of play as Paul Rifle gave Australia an undeniable chance of winning the Frank Worrell Trophy. Of course, he took 3 wickets right at the end, including the 2 superstars, Richardson and Lara. Well, the next day was a rest day and there was plenty of rain about, and that caused some apprehension among the Australian players and the coach Bob Simpson, who in fact ordered some extra security for the covers because, of course, we had that bizarre situation in Antigua during the second test match. Well, fortunately, the Australian players woke up on the 4th morning and the sun was shining, but the pitch was going to play an important part as to whether the West Indies were able to bat out the day or, in fact, just give the Australians some sort of total to chase. Let's go to the middle now for Michael Holding's pitch report.
Now, this pitch has deteriorated quite a lot. I'm not accustomed to seeing the Sabina Park pitch looking as bad as this. The footholds on both sides of the wicket are looking quite bad. Outside the leg stump, outside the off stump for the right-hander, both of them are looking very, very rough indeed. But that's not the only problem. Right here in front of me where I'm standing, there are a few holes in the pitch which are in line with the stumps. These certainly will come into play quite a lot. And as you can see, actually there are pieces of leather that have chipped off of the ball in these cracks because of the hardness of the wicket. I think batting on this pitch today is going to be very, very difficult.
Great fielding by Blewett.
The Australian fielding as usual, high class. Very good stop this by Greg Blewett.
Well, Australian fielding as usual up to its high standard. Steve Waugh.
Keeping the pressure on. Australia in a commanding position, but they have not slacked at all. Continuing to concentrate, continuing to put pressure on the West Indian players.
Gone, brilliantly caught. Stephen Waugh, full length to his right, a wonderful catch in the gully, ever alert. And this man really is just having the match of a lifetime.
He picked it and won, Mike. He has changed the whole course of the match and also the series. Athletic skills, sure, try to glide it through the vacant area and slits, but don't worry whether that bounced or not. That's right into the mitts. And now the West Indies are 4 for 98.
Played that one very well indeed. It's 4.
Well, Shane Warne won't mind Benjamin doing this a few times. Hopefully one will really bounce to Shane and he'll take the top edge, but it's his only answer is the sweep. And he rolled it, and he got one in the middle for a change. And it's gone for 4.
makes his 50. Played it beautifully. Lovely way to bring up your 15. He signals the room. Let's brought the crowd to life. A night watchman who can go on and get 50. He's got a test best of 85 against New Zealand. Once got 100 against a touring Australian side for Leicestershire. Cometh the moment, cometh the man, and this has been a very, very good effort by Winston Benjamin. Confident appeal he's given him. Buckner has given him. And Benjamin is out. Be interesting to see this one in replay. Benjamin.
Ball swinging in. The big thing is whether or not it would have hit the stumps. And if anything, it might have hit leg stump. It might have, but there are the breaks. And he's played fabulously well for a very good 51. And now the West Indies are 5 for 134.
Called for it. Carl Liebenberg's called for it. The Australians think he's out. Taylor's run to Julian. They're confident. Carl Liebenberg has called for the third umpire to make the assessment in front of his monitor.
Well, the Australians think he's out. Julian bent down. Athleticism picks him up, throws it in off the wrong foot. Hits the stumps, and he's not really into the picture at all. Clean hit. Ian Healy had to do. And he's gone. Run out. And now that just puts unbelievable more pressure on this man here, Keith Uppinen. But Hooper has run out. Fantastic work from the Australians. They worked very hard in the field, throwing the ball at the stumps. Bob Simpson will be very happy. Finally, something's coming off in the field. Brendan Julian running flat out, one hand on the wrong foot, throws it in, one bounce, and hits the stumps. And Carl Liebenberg asked the umpire, the third umpire, and he's given out. Carl Hooper run out for 13, 6 for 140.
Well, that's a stand-up home run at Yankee Stadium. And this same as the picture would land it, waist high, just outside the plate.
This is a full toss. We haven't seen too many of those from Shane Warne. But that was very powerfully hit indeed. It's a pretty long way to that boundary at long on.
Well, a big appeal again, and he's given him. It has turned and hit the back leg, and Keith Uppinen probably feels himself a little bit unlucky.
Well, the Australians are very, very happy indeed. That's the last of the recognised batsmen for the West Indies. Not too happy himself, Keith Atherton, but this ball pitched way out in the rough and spun a long way back. It was heading towards the stumps, but I'm not too sure it would have reached the off stump. But 7 for 166.
In the air for a long way, but lovely timing from Ambrose.
Well, he just stood his ground and waited for that one to spin back in towards him. And hit it powerfully through the offside. As I said when he was coming to the crease, Curtly Ambrose certainly has the ability to stand up and bat and make a few runs. Just certainly hasn't shown the application to do it in the series before today.
Almost stumped, and Warne has dragged him forward. Ambrose premeditating the delivery and where it would land. And Ian Healy, who hasn't had his best test day, did that beautifully.
And Shane Warne again, he has struck. And as I said before, Curtly Ambrose certainly has not shown the application in this series. And there we go again, chipping down the wicket, driving unnecessarily. 8 for 172 of the West Indies.
Well, the Australians thinking Warney, and bold Shane will come from Ian Healy. Walsh, one of Jamaica's favourite sons.
Oh, that's a superb stroke by Courtney Walsh. Steve Waugh special.
That's a crackerjack shot, this. Off the back foot. There could have been a little bit of Rowan Canai in that shot. The coach has finally got something through.
'55, of course, a pretty good year for Australia.
Yes, a magnificent year, Tony. A great vintage, and Glenn McGrath getting a few late short ones in there to his nemesis, Courtney Walsh.
Courtney Walsh, a great favourite here in Jamaica, of course, and they love him.
Another good short one from Glenn McGrath, who hasn't taken a backward step during this series, and Courtney Walsh, I'm not too sure what you'd call that, Tony. Quite happy with the way he played it, obviously.
Well, that must have been close, but as far as umpire Liebenberg is concerned, not close enough. And I suppose he's enjoying Courtney Walsh as well. Gone. Oh, he's put it down. Unbelievable. Ian Healy has now put down 2 of the easiest catches you could want. Quick outside edge into his gloves. He had to catch it.
Oh, I don't know what to say, Tony. That was quite amazing. It appears to be a regulation chance. Maybe got onto him a lot quicker than he expected. For the second time today, regulation catch was grasped. It's something we haven't seen 2 or 3 years from Ian Healy. He's been outstanding behind the stumps.
That's a superb on drive. Using his feet and coming down, playing it perfectly Courtney Brown and getting 4 for it.
See that shot again, using his feet, catching the ball on the rise with the leg spin. Right in the meat of the bat, 4 runs.
Yeah, they must be feeling there now, particularly Bob Simpson, of course, who was here as a captain in 64-65 when the Australians lost 2-1, and again in 77-78 at such a troubled time, lost 3-1. He's got that on the full, and he's got it away for 4. Still something for them to cheer about, and the children signal, mimicking a more senior Jamaican in Steve Buckner.
Who says you can't use your feet to Shane Warne? Down the wicket, a little bit in the air. Gave it the treatment. High and wide over Steve Waugh for 4 more. It's good to see him still playing shots.
It's in the air. Blewett's under it, and he has taken it.
For the wicket to Shane Warne. Courtney Walsh tried the big one over the top, but hit it straight to point. And for the people at home, the doubting Thomases about sunglasses, this is one of the reasons why. Get a fly ball, and see the ball, great camera work there. And of course he's looking straight into the sun there, and he's just checking the glasses there. But Courtney Walsh just caught fluid, bowled Warren for 14, and the West Indies are 9 for 204.
So Warren strikes again. And Courtney Walsh, who was so solid. And the last West Indian batsman. There's Courtney Walsh now. Just waves to the crowd who are giving him such support, his home crowd. And how heavy will his heart be this moment? So the Australians now just 1 wicket away from a historic achievement. Kenny Benjamin joins Courtney Brown on 30. Taylor indicating through Michael Slater for the security men to reposition themselves.
Shane Warne doing the damage again. His best figures for the tour, believe it or not. And this is one of the reasons why he has his best. Courtney, big slog, tried to hit over mid-off, just lent a bit too much on the back foot, hit a fly ball to Blewett with the sunglasses on. Sun was right in his eyes. That wasn't an easy catch. No doubt the ball would have been spinning a lot before he got underneath it. I tell you, Mike, sometimes you have your heart in your mouth when those are coming down too, but everyone's expecting you to catch it.
He's got that one away effortlessly out in front of the Kingston Cricket Club for 4.
This is a great shot by Ken Benjamin. The drop kick just against the spin, up and over the mid-wicket boundary. With the team camaraderie and the team spirit between the two of them. Brian Lara, of course, and Justin Langer, which is a great sight to see. This is the way cricket should be played. Very good winners the West Indies have been, but also very good losers.
And he's gone! And that's it, and it's been caught by Taylor. How appropriate is that? Warne, everybody gathering to hug Taylor and Warne. Simpson, what a moment. The Australians running on to the ground. Alan Border there. So proud he must feel. He built the side. And now Taylor has engineered this great win. Great scenes of emotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure how many people out there can hear me, but today I have to be the most proudest man in world cricket. It's been far too long since Australia have had their hands on this trophy. I feel very honoured that I'm the captain of a side that has finally won this back after some 20 years. To my players who can't hear me, but to my players, they've been an outstanding job. They've had an outstanding job. They've been a great side. We've had a few setbacks. We've put together a great cricket team and fought back and won a great trophy. To the West Indians, to Richie Richardson, once again they were fantastic opposition. They've been, without a doubt, the best team over the last 10 to 20 years. We've finally beaten them after many, many moons. To them, thank you for the competition. I've enjoyed the series immensely, as have all our players. It's been a great opposition, a great side, and I'm sure you'll do more than yourself justice in England this year. The supporters behind me, they've been outstanding. The faxes from home, all the people who have sent faxes, messages to all the guys, we thank you very much for all your support. This is for all of you. This is for all of you. To Coca-Cola, our major sponsor, thank you again. Without you, this is impossible. And once again, thank you. I'm a very proud man and a very proud Australian. Thank you.
Well, what a moment, and the scenes of excitement, the jubilation, a very, very proud day in the life of Australian cricket, more importantly in the life of Mark Taylor, of course only 7 months into his reign as Australian captain, and how proud he must be and how proud he must be of his men. Well, it was going to take a very brave man indeed to get into the Australian rooms. David Hooks was just that brave man, and here he is with Brendan Julian.
Brendan, congratulations. Just 2.5 months ago you were in Melbourne ready to play a Shield game.
Yeah, dead right. I was 2.5 months ago playing a Shield game, but it's been a great win here today, and I think this is just the best time of my life to win over here. I know it means a lot more to like Simo and Babsy and players like that that have been there a few times, but for a guy that's been there for the first time, it's just been magnificent.
And you must be pleased just the way you played cricket. The 4 tests you played, you struggled a bit in Guyana when you had a bit of jet lag in the one day, but after that it's just all fell in place.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the way it's come. I mean, I think we all sort of hunted in packs the way that we bowled, and to bowl about under sort of 260 all the time was just a bonus. I mean, I think we all chipped in and did the things that got us the wickets.
Brendan, enjoy the night.
Thanks, mate.
The man of the series, Steve, congratulations. Fantastic series. You made the point at the start of the series you wanted to make this your series. You only played 2 tests here in 1991, and suddenly you must be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, it's been a great series. I couldn't have dreamed that it would have gone any better, personally and for the team. We've shown a lot of courage and commitment during the series, and it's been a great victory. The best I've ever been involved with.
Steve, everything seems to have gone well. I spoke to you earlier in the tour. You felt that you were hitting the ball well, you were scoring at a good rate, which is your trademark, and you're able to maintain that. And it's going to sound silly, you made 200 here, but I thought your first innings in Trinidad was something special.
Yeah, it was probably the best innings I played on the tour, but I've been hitting the ball pretty well, but I had a little bit of luck along the way. I had a couple of drop catches went my way, and fortunately I cashed in and made the most of them, so yeah, I'm pleased with the way I've played.
Well, Steve, we have to let you go because Carl Rackham is driving your car around Savannah Park. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's in safe hands, mate, yeah.
All right, good luck. Enjoy the night. Then let's go to Paul Rifle, whom I believe had a wonderful series. Perhaps wasn't rewarded with wickets until late on the 3rd night. But he's got the Frank Worrell Trophy. Paul, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mate, what about this morning? Hills told me the lesser keeper wouldn't have got to that second delivery.
Mate, I bamboozled him by the first one and I did a bit, but... Oh, no!
Well, the man of the series is entitled to do that. What about your bowling this series, and particularly this game? You got the rewards this game. Did you bowl any better?
Probably not. It's just the way it goes. But obviously you've got to keep going, and I've done that. I've probably done that all season, and this is the reward for that.
Well, they deserve this. An unforgettable moment, a moment frozen in time. A disciplined, single-minded and focused Australian team which carried all before them. David, it really was a joy to be a part of that.
Yes, it was, Mike. Always a joy to be part of history, particularly when Australia is involved. The Australian players played sensationally. They were wonderfully led by Mark Taylor, and the series was billed as the heavyweight championship of the world. Mark Taylor believes that Australia has dethroned the West Indies. Well, let's close now with a tribute to Australia's new heroes.